Hey guys, what's up? Commando here. Welcome to my review of WWE Payback 2016. I thought this was actually going to be a great pay-per-view. It started off kind of good, then it sort of got a little bit iffy in the middle, and then it sort of got alright at the end again. But I quite enjoyed it. I did quite enjoy it. I'm going to go in depth here and talk about it as always. Um, but I don't. The Wikipedia site hasn't been updated, so I don't have times or anything on there. That's where I usually go. I usually get the time lengths of the matches and what have you, but it hasn't been updated, so I have nothing to. I can't provide the times of the matches. But anyways, let's get to it. Uh, just before the show went on the air, like maybe an hour or so before, I don't know, it was announced that Baron Corbin and Ziggler would also be in the pre-show. Which is a good thing because it means that the pre-show has two matches instead of just one, and it means less talking and rambling about randomness. So I was actually quite happy with it. But the Baron Corbin Ziggler match wasn't very good. It was kind of boring, to be honest. It was okay, but it was just kind of boring really. But Mauro Ranallo and Byron Saxton was doing the commentary, so it was pretty good. It was good to hear Morrow, because I like Morrow. He's a good commentator. But nothing really to say about the match. Um, Ziggler eventually won with a roll up, which was quite surprising. I don't know how did he. I can't remember. The one good moment in the match was Corbin did he had him in Ziggler in a powerbomb spot on the outside, and threw him over his head and went face first into the post. That was kind of cool, I guess. And the other moment was Ziggler came running off of the steel steps and jump, and then Baron booted him in the chest. Apart from that, that was quite a boring match, really. But Ziggler winning was a surprise. And as usual, the dumbasses are saying, "Oh, Baron Corbin's been buried. Oh, why did Baron Corbin lose his first match? Blah 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 blah." People who don't know how wrestling works. It's pointless even responding to them. I see the comments on WWE's YouTube videos. I just don't waste my time responding to these idiots. I would have maybe a few years ago, but now it's just what's the point? People are stupid. There's no point trying to explain it to them. Anyways, after that, just some more talking, and we get on to Ryback versus Kalisto. Now, this was a really good match. I really love these two guys. I mean, they have such great chemistry together, and they've had great matches. Every one of their matches has been really good. They had one back before Survivor Series for that WWE Championship tournament. They won at WrestleMania. There one on SmackDown last week, like a week and a half ago. And this one was really good. I just loved this match. It was so good from start to finish, just really good. And Ryback's entrance, that was so fucking good. He comes out and he's doing his thing, and then he gets down on one knee, starts doing the old CM Punk thing that he would always do, getting major boos from the fans. That was really cool. And also on his weight belt thing, it said the pre-show stopper. Cause I just seen showstopper at first, and then I seen pre-show on it, like the pre-bit on it before it. I thought that was awesome. Just a bit of a jab at WWE. He's not happy with his position, but he's putting on excellent matches. Ryback gets a lot of flack, but he's good. Ryback's really good, and him and Kalisto work really well together. Some awesome moments in this match. Just really good. I'm just flicking through the thing here, but one of the moments that Ryback saved Kalisto. Kalisto went for this dive outside the ring. I've seen people do it on Lucha Underground where they run to go out to the outside, but they go on the middle rope, and they springboard from the middle rope on the inside and then jump over. Well, Kalisto didn't really go far enough, and if Ryback hadn't caught him, he would have went flying off the side of the apron. And Ryback caught him luckily and sold it well. But I think that's a couple of times where Kalisto's almost killed himself doing that. But seriously, it was a great match, and if you didn't see it, you need to go and see it. It was really, really good. Just great back and forth action, lots of cool moves. I'm just trying to look through here. It's not a very detailed report. But at one point, Ryback blocked like the Salida del Sol and went for the shell shot, but Kalisto blocked it and rolled him up. What's this? This was the end of the match, right? Ryback's on the second rope in the turnbuckle, and Kalisto climbs up and tries to, do something to him. But Ryback stands up, military press slam, and just throws him right off. And I thought that was it. I was like, oh yes, Ryback's gonna win. I was into it. I was really pumped up for it. I really thought Ryback's gonna win it. And he goes for a splash from the top, but then Kalisto moves and he hit the Salida del Sol and win. I was like, man, I really thought Ryback had it. I would have been happy if Ryback won there. But Kalisto won. Great match. Really, really great match. I loved it. Really good. Just would have been nice if Ryback won, really. I would like to see more matches between these two. Just, they need to do something more in building the match so we're actually interested to see the match and see what's going to happen. There was only just the one match on SmackDown. That was the only thing to build to this. That was it. Yeah, that's poor. That's pathetic. You need to do something more with the title. But after that, the camera shows Vince McMahon's office, and the panel's talking about all that, and that was it for the pre-show. There wasn't really much else. And then pay-per-view starts, and the New Day comes out, which I thought was weird because there was no video package. But the New Day comes out and they talk about the tournament, and Xavier Woods started talking about Beyonce, saying to hook him up on Twitter or something if she wants to get revenge or something. I don't know. I guess Beyonce's boyfriend or whatever cheated on her, and Xavier Woods was like, if you want to get some revenge or something or get one up on him, to go to him or something. It was really odd. I don't know what's happening Beyonce. Maybe you can explain it, but I have no idea. And then they just say that Biggie says there's a new era in WWE because New Day rocks. And then it went to the video package, which was all about this new era thing and showing all the new wrestlers. But really, if you look at now and you look at a year ago, there's not really much difference. It's still the same. I wouldn't say it's different at all, really. Maybe they'll change, I don't know, but I wouldn't say there's anything different, really. It's just a storyline, really. I don't see anything different. I don't see anything majorly different. At least that's me, anyway. But on to the first match of the official pay-per-view or whatever. But it's Enzo, Amore and Big Cass versus the Vaudevillians, and the match was going really well. And also Enzo and that had a good intro, but still some of the stuff they're saying, I don't know, it's like they're saying stuff and I'm like, okay, yeah, I get that, but it's not like hilarious. Like the stuff that Enzo says or what have you, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I see what you're saying, but it's not like hilarious. I don't know, I think there's stuff just coming from people that don't really know what they're talking about. If it was actually coming from Enzo and that, I think it would be better. Like the New Day, they're great, but I don't know. Out next comes Sami Gotch needing English to booze. Still no announcers. What's he talking about? Still no announcers. I don't know. But the match I thought was going really well. I thought it was good. They were doing good stuff. I thought this was going to be a great match. And then Enzo, oh man, it was nasty. It was seriously nasty. It looked like Simon Gotch was going to throw him like out the middle rope. He was going to just throw him out the middle rope like they normally do. But it seemed like Enzo tried to sort of slide underneath, but his face hit the second rope and then whiplashed back and hit the mat. Oh my god, and then he fell out the ring. It was so nasty. It was so nasty to watch, and you could just tell something was seriously wrong. And the Gotch tried to pick him up, but the referee was there and he brought out the X and quickly called it off. It was so nasty, and they showed replays of it. It was really bad. If you didn't see it, you should go and check it out. But it was so nasty. And trainers and doctors and what have you came out, and he got put on a stretcher and got put away. And the fans were chanting Enzo's name, but it was really nasty. And I guess we don't know what will happen, but what would have happened with the match. But Enzo is okay now. He's gotten out of the hospital. Apparently he had a concussion, but everything else was okay. But he's out of the hospital now. I've seen pictures on Twitter. And Kevin Owens posted a picture with he's like smiling, and Enzo and Cass is in the background. So hopefully all is well with Enzo, because it looked so nasty. I was quite worried just when it happened. I was really worried for him. I don't know. I had a feeling that he might have died. It just looked so nasty. But anyways, moving on to the next match, which is probably one of the best matches of the night. Was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. Just a great match. Honestly, just a great match, and it could have went either way, and it ended clean with Kevin Owens winning. Honestly, just a great match. Just great back and forth action from start to finish. No wrestles or that. I don't know why matches can't be like this on Raw and SmackDown. Just action. Instead of the boring wrestles all the time. But at one point, Sami Zayn had like a Michinoku driver or like a sit-out body slam, and then Michael Cole calls it a Blue Thunder Bomb, and you could tell that he fucked up, but he still kept calling it a Blue Thunder Bomb. Didn't correct himself. None of the other two did either. If it was Baron Saxton, though, they would have raped him for saying it. But Michael Cole, no, of course not. And then he did hit the actual Blue Thunder Bomb and called it a Blue Thunder Bomb and said he said that's the traditional Blue Thunder Bomb or some shit. I was like, call him out on it. He fucked up. Call him out on it. It was the same later on when he said AJ Styles was the IGWP champion or some shit. And he could tell by his voice that he clearly had fucked up. Didn't correct himself though. But if it was Byron, rape him. Logic. But this match was great, really great. Loads of cool moments. Sami did his DDT through the ropes on the outside. His tornado DDT, and Kevin Owens sold it like a freaking boss. He sold it like he'd been shot out of a cannon. He sold it so well. There's too many moments really to mention on this, but at one point Owens was going for the powerbomb in the apron, but Sami countered it and backdropped him. Kevin Owens landed right on the apron. It looked nasty, and I don't know how, but he ended up with a bleeding nose. I don't know how that happened. I don't know if they banged into each other or something, but he had a bleeding nose at one point. Sami Zayn goes for the Luva kick. Owens nails a super kick, then a power bomb for the win, and that was it. And it was a great match. It was honestly a great match, and Kevin Owens won. And after this, Owens attacks Sami before tossing him out the ring, and then he starts calling at Byron and tells him to get in, and tells him to ask him about Sami Zayn, but he pretended to whisper it, but everybody could quite clearly hear it. It was hilarious. And he starts messing around with Saxton and telling him that he's the better man and he's beating Sami Zayn, and that he's now going to focus on getting back the Intercontinental title. And Byron says that match is next, and Owens he doesn't care if they retain, and he's like, oh, thank you for inviting me to commentary. I'm going to do commentary for the next match. And he was gold on commentary, just like he always is on commentary or trash talking in the ring. Kevin Owens is just such a good heel. He's just so good at it. You gotta love it. But yeah, next was Cesaro versus The Miz for the Intercontinental title. And when it came to showing Kevin Owens and that, there was a commercial or something. He's sitting there with his feet up and he's got JBL's hat on. It was just hilarious. He's just so good, Kevin Owens. He's so good. But yeah, another great match. I thought this was a really good match. Just again, action from start to finish. It was brilliant. I loved it. And with Kevin Owens on commentary, it was even better. He was just constantly berating Cole and Saxton, and just being a true heel, just being an awesome heel. You gotta love it. Um, you gotta love it. I'm just flicking through here to see if there's anything worth mentioning. Oh, Cesaro nailed his big superplex. Haven't seen that in a while. And and when he did, the superplex from the apron, when he did it, and Michael Cole was sort of going nuts about it, and Kevin Owens just totally ripped Michael Cole a new one about that. That was hilarious. But Cesaro was doing his uppercut express, as they call it. I think he did like 5 or 6 on him, and then he nailed a fucking nasty running dropkick. He went off the ropes once, then twice, and 3 times, and he had an insane amount of speed by the time he'd hit it the 3rd time, and then nailed the dropkick. It was awesome. You could just see the speed and the force that he was coming towards the Miz. It was an amazing dropkick. Eventually, Miz hits a skull crushing finale, but Cesaro kicks out, and then at this point, Sami Zayn comes and starts bloody attacking Kevin Owens, and they're going all over the place, and they're brawling everywhere. They get clotheslined into the Timeskeeper's area, and then Miz gets caught into the Cesaro swing. Amazes me that people don't know how to count a full rotation. They were up at like 20, it was actually 16. Not that that isn't impressive, I just don't understand why people can't count one full rotation. I don't get it. But eventually Cesaro does that swing and then does the crossface. Then Owens and Sami get up on the apron, and Miz is starting tapping out, but the ref doesn't see it obviously. And Cesaro nails Owens in that off the apron, but Miz rolls up Cesaro and gets the win. I was like, I really thought Cesaro had it, but Miz wins like that. I was like, okay, good heel, way to go. Looks like it might end up a fatal 4-way with them two, with them four. I think it could be honestly could be a great match. It really could. It'll probably happen at Extreme Rules since it's only 3 weeks away. Which just I don't get that crap. When they do that, when they have it 3 weeks away, when there's pay-per-views later on in the year that are like 5 weeks or 6 weeks apart. Don't get that. But after this, Miz is at ringside with his title, but then Cesaro just comes out of nowhere, nails a massive running uppercut to him, brings him back in the ring and hits the neutralizer. Then, excuse me, Kevin Owens super kicks him, then Sami starts attacking Kevin Owens, but then gets another pop-up powerbomb. And he goes for the pop-up powerbomb on the Miz, but Maurice pulls him away, and then Owens raises the title and yells at Miz, and the fans go nuts. Awesome match. Awesome match. And after this, we see Stephanie McMahon and Apollo Crews talking backstage. Apparently Stephanie is campaigning. And they shake hands, and we go to the next match, which is where it started going downhill a little bit. I thought this match was, at times it was okay, but then other times it was kind of boring, really. It was Chris Jericho versus Dean Ambrose. They also showed off the Brazilian, Russian, and Japanese announced team. And Funaki, when he was doing his little thing, looked like it was a way to do his Funaki SmackDown #1 announcer thing, but he like totally fucked up, and JBL and Cole was like laughing about it. But at this point they offered an update on Enzo Amore, saying he's able to communicate and move his extremities, was the words they used, saying he was alright, so that's good. But yeah, there's not really much to say about this match. It was okay, but that's my kind of thoughts on it. It wasn't amazing, but it was okay, I guess. I don't really think there's much really memorable or moments or that to say about it. Oh yeah, they went for it looked like Jericho was gonna get Dirty Deeds on the table, but then he countered it, tries to go for the walls, but then slingshotted Ambrose into the timekeeper's area. Ambrose hit his big elbow from the top. Jericho goes for something off the top rope, but then Ambrose countered and goes for the Dirty Deeds, but he gets blocked with a roll up. Jericho nailed a nasty enziguri at one point. Ambrose starts coming back, going nuts with chops and slaps. Ambrose blocks the lines up with his knees, then he picks him up, goes for the Dirty Deeds, but there's a struggle. And eventually starts hitting some knees to him, to Jericho, and then hits the Dirty Deeds for the win. I thought they could have done that better. It was kind of weak looking knees, I thought. They actually started going nuts on him and hitting nasty looking knees, but it was kind of weak looking. And then he hit the Dirty Deeds and won. That was about it. I didn't think it was that great of a match. It was okay, but nothing special really. After the match, Jericho's like going nuts and like throwing stuff and being a ferret. But yeah, that's about it. Moving on, we have AJ Styles is backstage tomorrow. A little promo talking about stuff and saying he doesn't need any help. Then we see Sasha Banks talking to Shane McMahon. And then we move on to Natalya versus Charlotte for the women's title. And Natalya came out wearing this awesome t-shirt. I don't know if it's available on WWE Shop or it's like a custom shirt or what have you, but if you know where I can get it, tell me, because I'd like to maybe get it. It looks badass. It was like this white shirt and it said fight Brett fight, and it had like pink. It just looked awesome, it was really cool. But again, I didn't think this match was anything special really. It was okay, but nothing really amazing. Natalya at one point had a German suplex, which was kind of nice. Nothing really to say about it, to be honest. It wasn't anything special, I didn't think. It was kind of boring at times. It was okay, but nothing special really. She did hit her moonsault this time. She's got a great moonsault, Charlotte. I remember she did that one. They showed it a bloody few hundred times now. That one where she missed Natalya. She just hits it so smooth and landed perfectly. But she actually did it this time and landed on Natalya. Eventually, they get into the figure four, but then Natalya reverses it, and she gets to the bottom rope. Charlotte gets up and slaps Natalya. Charlotte applies the sharpshooter, and then referee Charles Robinson immediately rings the bell. But Natalya never tapped out, so there's like a screw job, and that's what they were saying. They were saying it's like the Chicago screw job or some shit. Because when that happened, I was like, what the fuck? And then Flair comes in the ring and celebrates with Charlotte, and then Little Nate leaves, as it says here. Then Brett drops Flair with a punch, Natalya takes care of Charlotte, and they both put in the sharpshooter at the same time. I had a feeling Charlotte was going to win anyway, but I've said it many times before, I'm not going to win it again, but Charlotte should have been lost the title a long time ago. For a division with one title, she shouldn't be champion this long, in my opinion. Moving on, Extreme Rules promo. Then we get Eden introducing Vince McMahon, some massive CM Punk chants. Vince tries to tell them to come on, they've got more than that, but they didn't really do much. But he talks about Raw and what have you, and Stephanie comes out and she's talking a load of shit, that she's brought in people like The Shield, Kevin Owens, New Day, Sasha Banks, Becky Lynch, Charlotte, AJ Styles, and that she launched the WWE Network, which has 1.8 million subscribers, and saying that Shane abandoned WWE for 7 years. It says that Shane only got back in because he blackmailed Vince. Blah 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 blah. And then Shane comes out, getting big chants from the crowd, and he brings up headlines from all these different places saying that Shane's good and all this crap. It was kind of an odd segment. It was okay, but eventually they come down to saying Vince says he wants blood, figuratively speaking. He says he wants to see them slit each other's throats and disembowel each other, and Shane's like, okay. And he announces that they both have equal say and tells them to figure it out. And Vince leaves, and Shane is definitely shaking hands. And they both leave looking somewhat skeptical, it says here. And I've seen people complaining, I did have a look around, I've seen people complaining that they didn't announce a brand split. But I think it might lead to that down the road. I don't think they're going to just go for it right now. But I think it might lead to that eventually. I can't remember if I mentioned it in my comment for my predictions video, but I think what was I going to say? I think that it could lead to a match between these two. Yeah, I did. It could lead to some sort of match, and there of people representing them or something, and whatever team wins would control Raw maybe. If not, then it might just be what a lot of people are saying is it'll be a brand split, and one guy gets Raw, one guy gets SmackDown or something. But who knows? I think it could be interesting to see how they work together, I guess. Because I mean, going by the next match, it could be good, But yeah, after this we get some stuff from the pre-show. They're talking about stuff. Then we get the video package, and then we get Cole saying that Enzo has a concussion, but all tests come back negative, and he should be good to go. Now, moving on to Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. Reigns getting mega booed. mega booed. He even got "you can't wrestle" chants at the start of the match as well. But yeah, it was going alright, it was going good. Eventually, there's not much to say in this first little portion of it, but he I'm just looking through here. Well, he gets Reigns in the calf crusher, but he gets to the floor and gets outside. Then Styles nails the phenomenal forearm from the inside to the floor, which nails Reigns through the announce table. And Styles makes it back into the ring, but Reigns gets countered out. And I thought that was it, and I was like, that's pretty lame. That's pretty bullshit. I actually thought it was gonna end like that, and if it did, that'd be pretty shitty. But Shane McMahon comes out and says that that's not how things are gonna happen in this new era, and he calls the bell and says this match will be no countouts now. And I thought, oh well, there's gonna be a DQ or something next. But they go at each other again. AJ hits a Pele kick. He goes for the 450, but Reigns gets knees up. AJ comes off the second rope, but Reigns nails him in midair. Oh yeah, that's what happened. Reigns nailed him midair, like he kicked him. I don't think he actually did get him in the dick, but they're calling for it as a low blow, an accidental low blow. So AJ Styles wins again, but by DQ. And this time Stephanie McMahon comes out and she says, as usual, Shane missed something, so the match will be restarted, and there's no DQ, no countouts, and there will be a clear winner. I mean, I thought it was an alright match. It was a pretty decent match. It was pretty good. But the Reigns throws AJ over the barricade, and they're out there. But then Styles nails a clothesline, and Reigns hit the table nasty. Like it was like in the stomach, abdomen, maybe upper pelvis region, like right in the corner of the announce table. It looked really nasty. But eventually we go back in the ring. Reigns dodges a phenomenal forearm and hits a Superman punch in midair, which, you know, looked pretty badass. You had to know that was going to happen at one point. Excuse me. And Reigns, AJ kicked out of this. Reigns goes for another Superman punch as the fans boo. He does hit that one, and then Reigns going for the spear, but out comes Gallows and Anderson, and they pull Styles to the floor. Then Anderson not get in, start beating him up. They hit the boot of doom, Skull calls it, that like flapjack boot thing. And then AJ's getting up and he's going for the phenomenal forearm, but Reigns gets his foot on the rope. Now the ref didn't even see the foot on the rope. He just stopped counting, and then he was like 1, 2, and he's like, oh, he kicked out. But then he turns around and notices that his foot on the rope. Reigns didn't even get his shoulder up or anything. So that's some bullshit right there. But then the Usos come down and start going at it with Gallows and that. Styles goes up top, but Reigns pushes him onto that lot. Then Reigns. AJ gets up and moves to the side. Okay, and then Reigns does his big dive thing onto the Usos and that, but Styles is on the barricade, and it's a big forearm off of that, which I think took out a few of the other guys too. Styles brings Reigns back in the ring. Styles springboards in with a shooting star press. No, he didn't. It was a 450, but Reigns kicked out. Reigns blocks the Styles clash and backdrops Styles to the apron. Reigns goes for a Superman punch, but AJ nailed him. AJ comes in for another phenomenal forearm, but Reigns ducked it and nailed the spear for the win. I was like, okay. I liked that there was interference stuff. I like interference and screwy stuff like that. You know, that's always been a big thing. And it was a major thing. You know, back like in the beloved Attitude Era and that. And I love screwy finishes and interferences and stuff. I think that's really good. So I think that's what we're going to see for the next while anyway, with Reigns and Styles, because they have a rematch now. Because after this, Vince and Shane and that are backstage. Vince, Shane, Stephanie. And Vince is saying it's a great match and applauds Shane for restarting the match, but then says Stephanie upped him a little bit, one-upped him. He congratulates them both and wonders if AJ should have a rematch. They agree. Stephanie says it'll take place at Extreme Rules, and Shane was like, I agree, it will. And Vince is like, oh, well, what kind of match will it be? And Shane's like, oh, it will be an Extreme Rules match. And then it goes back to Michael Cole and that, was talking about WWE, and that was the end of the show. It was a good match, you know. It was a good match, and AJ also had on his epic red and white gear. It just looks so good. I love it. I'm big on color combination stuff, and AJ's always been one for great gear since back in his TNA days. And that's always what I make my guys on WWE and that they create a superstar. I always make them similar to AJ's gear. I've always been a big fan of his ring gear. But yeah, I quite enjoyed the match. If it ended after that count, I thought that would have been pretty lame. It really would have been pretty lame. But it went on, and I thought it was, I thought they did it well. But I thought we were going to get Reigns and the Usos versus AJ and Gallows and Anderson in a 6-man tag maybe at the next pay-per-view. Maybe we still will get that. I don't know. But I think it might maybe happen on Raw or SmackDown or something in the future. Tell me what you think is going to happen there. Maybe there's something I'm not thinking about that could happen, or you have a better idea. Down in the comments. But as for the best match, I would probably have to say, flicking through, Kalisto or Ryback, or Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, or Cesaro Miz. I'm kind of leaning towards Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Kalisto, and Ryback. Those two matches were really good. Cesaro Miz was really good too. It was really good. It's a tie between those three, and then I would probably say Reigns and Thingy. Reigns and Styles. I really thought when we got Kalisto match and then we got the tag match, which I think the tag match was going to be great. I think it would have been just as great as these matches. It seemed to be going that way, which is just unfortunate about Enzo's injury. I think that would have been a great match as well, but I think I'd probably say Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, or Kalisto Ryback. Especially Kalisto Ryback. I was really impressed with it. Really, really impressed with it. That's on the pre-show as well, and it was a great match. Just really impressed with Ryback and Kalisto. They're just two great guys. Just hopefully they will start doing more with the US title instead of just doing nothing. Actually have some moments happening, and build into these matches, so we actually want to see them, and not just announce a match out of nowhere, But I think I'm gonna go Kalisto Ryback for my match, tied with Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens. That's what I'm gonna say. Those two were the two best matches, and overall for the show, I'd probably give it a C or a B. I think I'll go B. Because there was some matches that bored me, like the Ziggler Corbin and the Jericho Dean Ambrose. Wasn't as bad as the Corbin match, but it was kind of lacking. It was kind of lacking something, I don't know. And Natalya Charlotte the same. It was, I don't know. It was okay. Nothing amazing. And the Vince segment was alright. I enjoyed it. I guess I was maybe expecting the brand split thing too, but I thought it was okay, for what it was okay. And also when I turned my computer on because I wanted to take note of something, and I refreshed the page and it said that it showed like Emma versus Becky Lynch. I thought, oh, has that match been added or something? But it never happened. They've been teasing that match ever since WrestleMania, in backstage Fallout videos and like I think they had an interview thing on SmackDown. Don't know when that's gonna happen, but they keep on teasing it and doing stuff on Twitter with each other, so maybe it'll happen eventually. And also my Sky box office was being weird. I remember when I ordered it or what have you, it didn't do the usual thing because I ordered it a week ago when it first came out, or tried to order it. And it didn't go to the confirmation page, and I thought, that's weird. And I tried it again later in the week, and it did the same thing. And I was like, okay, I guess it's gonna just work. But when I turned the TV on after watching the kickoff show, it didn't come on, and I was like, oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. And I had it on record, but nothing was showing up. And so I tried to order it, and then it popped up, and I was able to rewind back and watch it. Because at the point when I turned it on, it was just after the Enzo and that match. I didn't know it was that match, but I just heard Cole and that speaking about somebody getting injured, and I was like, oh my god, what the fuck's happened here? And then I rewound it and seen it. And something I forgot to mention was the New Day. They were, after their introduction thing, they were sat in the corner on the outside with bean bags and pizza and popcorn, and they were taking videos and shit. Apparently they were on Periscope or something. Just hilarious, and their bloody New Day socks and stuff. I really wish they would sell that jogging suit, tracksuit thing and trousers. They wear that shit all the time. I don't know if they've got loads of them or they just wear the same one all the time, but it looks badass. I wish they would sell that. I know they have an I don't know what they're called, like an athletic jacket thing, but it would be good if they sold that things that they wear all the time, because I would go for that. That's the kind of stuff I like to wear. I would happily buy that if they was to sell it. But yeah, they were sitting there, just being the New Day, being awesome, doing their thing. You gotta love the New Day. But I don't think there's anything else to say. There's nothing, no news or what have you. Just Enzo's been released from the hospital. That's the thing. I think I did see something. I think I did see something about the Undertaker or something. Oh yeah, there was. Apparently he's dead set on not wrestling again. That's the thing. It's came out just recently, today or yesterday. It says May 1st, but it'd probably be like American time. But it said that he doesn't want to wrestle again, and he's done. Period. That's what it says here. But Vince is confident that he can get Taker to one more match in WrestleMania, hopefully against John Cena. And he feels that if he just lets Taker wait and rest up, he'll get him back. But he believes Taker may stick to his guns this time. But everyone expects Vince to try and change his mind later this year. It said that he doesn't want like he never wanted a big like send off or like retirement match or anything. He just wants to leave. I don't know. I think he probably will come back again. I think he likely will come back. But they shouldn't be relying on Taker and Brock Lesnar and The Rock and all these people. You know, you've got a insanely talented roster. Use them, make interesting stories and feuds, and people will come. People will watch. It's it's not that hard. You've got all the talent in the world. You could easily have all these guys be top stars and people wanting to see these matches. Just you gotta stop with the bullshit and just start pushing these guys. Start doing good storylines and having great moments and segments and building to the matches. That's the main thing that the weekly shows have. They're kind of lacking moments, or the matches are boring, which I thought for the last few weeks they've been pretty boring. But I did think Payback was a good show. And I'm not gonna yap anymore because I've yapped long enough. 42 minutes is a long time. I'm feeling rather thirsty after doing all this talking. But yeah, that's it. Thank God I don't have to go work, which is good. I have a day off today, so gonna go get something to drink and then get this uploading, and which will take ages, and then have a little sleep. I think I deserve it. So yeah, that's it. Tell me your thoughts on Payback. Tell me what you think's gonna happen on Raw. I'm sure people are disappointed about Finn not debuting, but I did hear that he's hurt right now. He's a bit banged up, so maybe they're saving his debut for later on, which I think will happen. Like AJ will get sick of Gallows and that, and then maybe Finn will debut with them too and just beat AJ up or something. I think something will happen. It could be something similar to that. But tell me what you think will happen. But that's it. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe. Hit that like button. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye.